You cannot wield it. None of us can. The One Ring answers to Sauron alone. It has no other master.
Of all the lines in the Lord of the Rings films, this is the one that's led to the most comments attempting to correct me on my channel. My theory videos are among some of my most popular, and without fail, anytime we go down the rabbit hole of various characters claiming the One Ring, I get comments quoting this line from Aragorn in the films. The problem is, film Aragorn is wrong. To be clear, this isn't something I think the films got wrong necessarily. Indeed, Aragorn here is kind of summarizing what another character says in the very same book scene. And Gandalf in Bag End explains what would happen should he take the ring. While I think these lines in the film are quite effective in conveying what needs to be conveyed, it seems Aragorn's in particular have given some folks a false impression of the wieldability of the ring. And as we look to the books, we find that the list of people who could have wielded it may be surprising. As I mentioned, Aragorn's line is cutting to the heart of what Elrond conveys in the book. "Alas, no," said Elrond. "We cannot use the ruling ring. That we now know too well. It belongs to Sauron, and was made by him alone, and is altogether evil. Its strength, Boromir, is too great for anyone to wield at will, save only those who have already a great power of their own. But for them it holds an even deadlier peril. The very desire of it corrupts the heart. Consider Saruman. If any of the wise should with this ring overthrow the Lord of Mordor, using his own arts, he would then set himself on Sauron's throne. And yet another Dark Lord would appear. And that is another reason why the ring should be destroyed. As long as it is in the world, it will be a danger even to the wise. For nothing is evil in the beginning. Even Sauron was not so. I fear to take the ring to hide it. I will not take the ring to wield it." As we see, this section kind of cuts to the chase of the whole problem with the One Ring. The object is altogether evil. Sure, some could wield it, but they themselves would just become another Dark Lord. Tolkien himself commented on this possibility in letter 246, specifically talking about Gandalf claiming the One Ring. If Gandalf proved the victor, the result would have been for Sauron the same as the destruction of the ring. For him, it would have been destroyed, taken from him forever. But the ring and all its works would have endured. It would have been the master in the end. He then goes on to say that Gandalf as Ring Lord would have been far worse than Sauron. So not only would the One Ring corrupt Gandalf into becoming a new Dark Lord, but for Sauron, this outcome would have been the same as when the ring is destroyed in the actual story. Sauron would be forever defeated. So we know from Tolkien's words that a mighty being like Gandalf or Saruman, and perhaps even Galadriel or Elrond, could have wielded and even mastered the One Ring. While we've shown movie Aragorn is mistaken in saying none could wield it, we see in the books that he may be mistaken on a somewhat comical level, for it's even hinted that some mortals could have wielded the ring with some success, including Aragorn himself. As early as Rivendell, we find Gandalf saying there were multiple beings in Middle-earth perhaps capable of overthrowing Sauron with his ring. Indeed, he is in great fear, not knowing what mighty one may suddenly appear, wielding the ring and assailing him with war, seeking to cast him down and take his place. That we should seek to cast him down and have no one in his place is not a thought that occurs to his mind. That we should try to destroy the ring itself has not yet entered into his darkest dream. Now, the most likely characters being referred to here are those among the most powerful, like Gandalf, Galadriel, Elrond, and even Saruman. But in a later chapter, we find Gandalf the White give a direct indication toward Aragorn. This comes after the victory at Pelennor Fields, when the great leaders of Gondor and Rohan are debating what should be their next move. Now Sauron knows all this, and he knows that this precious thing which he lost has been found again, but he does not yet know where it is, or so we hope, and therefore he is now in great doubt. For if we have found this thing, there are some among us with strength enough to wield it. That too he knows. For do I not guess rightly, Aragorn, that you have shown yourself to him in the Stone of Orthanc? While we know for certain, as Sauron does, that Gandalf would be a threat should he claim the ring, notice that Gandalf implies there are multiple among them capable of doing so. A group consisting of himself, the sons of Elrond, and a bunch of mortal men. He then immediately turns to Aragorn, confirming that he revealed himself to the Dark Lord. Second to Gandalf, Aragorn is no doubt the most likely person to be capable of wielding the ring. He has already shown his incredible strength by wresting control of the Palantir of Orthanc, as he revealed himself to Sauron. Now, we must point out in this video an incredibly important distinction. Though Aragorn would be capable of wielding the ring, this does not mean he could master it. That potential, according to Tolkien himself, seems to stop at higher level beings like Maiar or very powerful elves. Yet, as we further seek to put to rest the idea that none but Sauron could wield it, we don't stop merely at Aragorn. For it is even implied that Frodo, the tiny halfling, could have grown capable of doing so, with some measure of success. In Lorien, Galadriel tells the ring-bearer, "Only thrice have you set the ring upon your finger since you knew what you possessed. Do not try, it would destroy you. Did not Gandalf tell you that the rings give power according to the measure of each possessor? Before you could use that power, you would need to become far stronger, and to train your will to the domination of others. Yet even so, as ring-bearer, and as one that has borne it on finger and seen that which is hidden, your sight has grown keener." Galadriel points out that Frodo has already grown keener in sight from the ring. Not only that he had noticed Galadriel's own hidden ring of power, but she goes on to say that he has perceived her thought more clearly than many that are accounted wise. And in one of Tolkien's letters, he indicates that Frodo may have had some effect upon the ring-wraiths, should he have sought to command them at Mount Doom. But the situation was now different to that under Weathertop, where Frodo acted merely in fear, and wished only to use, in vain, the ring's subsidiary power of conferring invisibility. He had grown since then. Would they have been immune from its power if he claimed it as an instrument of command and domination? Not wholly. I do not think they could have attacked him with violence, nor laid hold upon him or taken him captive. They would have obeyed, or feigned to obey, any minor commands of his that did not interfere with their errand, laid upon them by Sauron, who still through their 9 rings which he held, had primary control of their wills. While Frodo could have grown to have some measure of success wielding the ring, it's pretty clear he also would never have been able to be its master. As for Aragorn himself, that we will save for another video. For one so great among men, as we have shown, could indeed wield the ring, but could never master it, resulting in an outcome full of treachery and darkness. In the meantime, I'll leave you with the question. What do you think would happen if Aragorn were to take the ring for his own? Let me know in the comments. As always, I want to say a huge thank you to all my Patreon and YouTube supporters who make this channel possible. CCDC Red Team, Evil Chameleon, Tom DeBombadil 19, Lissamy the Cinda, Rabbi Rob Thomas, Charles Leisure, Joe Tepper, The Mighty Mim, Andrew Carlisle, Swirled Traveler, Matthew Jeffrey, Viking Lord, Alvin Einbert, Jeremy Daniel Derby, Madame Director, Freya Firestar, Chris and Meg Q, Leo Vittori, Sky Carcass, Slide Belts, Dane Ragnarsson, Berto Berg, Graham Derricott, The Dark-Haired One, Wyland, Z and N, Evely, Kia, Micah Wu, and Debbie. If you enjoyed the artwork in this video, check out the artists in the description to purchase prints of their great work for yourself. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Nerd of the Rings.